Hey guys, I'm Racing Chewy Side, and I got a video for you guys, and it's basically going to be the start to a new series I'm going to call Versus or Sim Racing Versus. Haven't quite decided yet on the title, but what it's going to be is bracket style 101, moving on to another round deal between two cars over a variety of sims, but the majority is probably going to be on Assetto Corsa just for the fact is there's mods out there. So like I said, it's going to be a little one-on-one deal. I'm going to try to keep everything in an even playing field, but not identical, just for the fact is what's the fun in having cars that are dead even. I mean, might as well have little differences here and there. So that means I'm going to try to keep the horsepower similar. I'm going to definitely keep the same drivetrain up until I run out of cars and have to put different cars against each other. So yeah. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to have 3 rounds. One is basically going to be a little test between just how the car drives on a regular old racetrack, which I believe is gonna be at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, or however you say it, Montreal, just because there's a lot of straights and turns, so it makes a good even match in power. The second round's gonna be at a place called Showtime, which is basically a big version of Race of Champions. Actually, it's almost identical to Race of Champions. That way it's a tight, twisty course, and that benefits a car on which one has better handling. And round 3, if we get there, it's probably going to be a place like Barcelona, just another racetrack, or I'll figure that one out. And I said 3 races, but it's going to be the best 2 of 3 that'll determine what the car, like what car is better, I guess. Like this week, it's just a Toyota Gt86 versus a Mazda Mx5, and I will say there's only 2 rounds, so be prepared to watch the rest and put the lap times up and everything and what I think of what car actually won, and I'll tell you the outcome. So let's get to it, starting with the Toyota. Alright, by Toyota I mean both. So we're doing this little split screen side action here, or side by side action. You can see it's a little squish. I had to do that to fit them on screen. So yeah, there's a little timer there too. And I guess I'll just go ahead and go through the specs of each car. Just talking about the slight differences. You can see here on the page, the weight is, 1,058 kilograms. The power is at 160. Torque is around 200. That's kind of important. Top speed is 240 kilometers an hour. Acceleration and the weight, power to rate ratio, which is actually not bad. And then you compare it to something like the Toyota there, which is 1,250 kilograms, 200 horsepower. And just 205, just 5 more Newton meters of torque. You can see the top speed is obviously better, but the power to rate ratio is not really that impressive, but yeah. Anyways, the specs don't mean nothing if the cars can keep up with each other. You can see they're fairly equal on track. In fact, right at this point, you can see the Mazda's actually on pace with the Toyota, given that it has 40 horsepower less. Now I did both these runs on street tires, and I only did it for this test because for some reason I can't get the AI to select regular tires too when I do the next test, which is a one-on-one challenge. So yeah, these are on street tires, even though the Toyota has options for an economic tire, or economic, however you want to say it, and that's just even less grip. So I decided to put them on the same level, so they're both on street. Alright, so here you can start to see the clear advantage is starting to go to the Toyota, just for the fact is it's more powerful down the straights, which usually means quicker, but that's not always the case. But you can still see the timer up there, and the Toyota is on a clear, victory here. So at a 208.7 for the, Toyota, and a 209.3 for the Mazda, meaning the Toyota wins this round, which is part 1 of 2 in, week 1. So we're gonna move on to Showtime now, and we'll see who the winner is here. Now I picked this track because it's a nice little tight, twisty course, which is something the Mazda should excel in. And it's decent size enough where you can get a decent reading of, exit speed, coming out of the corners for the power out of these cars. So I chose this track for one, it's really fun, even battling the AI. This test, we were on racing tires. Just for the fact is that the AI really doesn't choose the tire you choose, so that's why I had to do it that way. Either way, I'm keeping it even. I'm not counting crap like that because I will suck anyways, but whatever. So this is lap 1. It's a 2-lap shootout. You know, that's why you don't see the Mazda anywhere in sight right now, but you'll see him later in this run. Yeah, I'm the one driving this car. For the fact is, the AI really doesn't know how to push the cars 100% to their absolute limit. I mean, they can the better car, which is why I let the AI be the Mazda. I could probably lap just a little bit quicker if I were to use the Mazda. Though again, I don't really know how to do this test. I'm gonna work on it in future editions. So, yeah, here you'll see the victory coming down to the line. I'll show a little screenshot that I took of the same video. And there at the line, the Toyota's the winner. So that's 2 out of 3 for the Toyota Gt86, meaning it's gonna win this round this week. Next week, we're probably gonna pit it against something else. I need to rethink the format. I said bracket style, and I think I'm gonna go, actually do a true version of that by putting, setting up brackets, and then, the next test would be let's say a Corvette and Mustang. I'm gonna put those two against each other. You'll see how I do that in the future. I'll show you. That's what I'm gonna do, bracket style. It's just gonna be head to head. I might just go by countries first, and have them compete in the finals, so it'll more than likely be either, Japan versus some European car, or if I'm lucky, get some of the muscle cars, and I guess Corvette's considered a supercar. Try to get those into the final. Now, I forgot to mention one thing at the start of this in-car view. You saw that it was green. Well, it's not really like that when you're actually driving. This is from a replay I took. When you're actually driving, it does count down. And if you jump, it gives you a 15-second penalty. So that's why you got to be really careful. And I might have been behind, so the victory might have been even bigger if I was more, good at jumping the start. I don't know how to say that. Better at a whole shot than saying that. But you can see how much I had to work the car, so yeah. Anyways, we're gonna pit some other car against another. We'll show you the other side of the bracket, possibly from the USA. We'll see what happens. Anyways, sim racing Chewy side.